right.
All right, I'd like to go ahead and open up the Tuesday, July 18th, 2023 Warrenton Board of Alderman meeting. If you would, please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item we have is a public hearing for the... Who's speaking on it? Okay. The annexation of 2.46 acres located north of I-70 and east of Big Creek.
Mayor, members of the Board of Aldermen, I'm here to present on the proposed annexation. The city received a notarized petition for annexation consistent with the requirements of Section 71012 of the revised statutes of Missouri, signed by the owners of Warrenton Center LLC, or members of Warrenton Center LLC. The property is located north of I-70, east of Big Creek, is approximately 2.46 acres and is part of a larger 67.5 acre parcel that had previously been annexed into the city. This property is undeveloped and wooded and is on a creek side. This property, if annexed into the city, rounds out the boundaries, resulting in all properties east of Big Creek being located within the city limits. The area is currently served by city utilities, and the property is contiguous and compact to the city and is appropriate for annexation under the statutory requirements. Published notice was made for this public hearing as required by statute, and the proposed annexation is reasonable and necessary to the proper development of the city. The city is able to provide normal services within a reasonable time to the property, and as of right now, no objections have been filed. I'm happy to answer any questions.
You would just, we know who you are, but if you would state your name for anybody else who's watching it.
Certainly. My name is John Young, and I'm the city attorney. Thank you.
Questions?
Nope, I have none.
Thank you.
This time, anybody who wants to come up and speak or has any issues with this, please step forward to the podium, state your name. We'll give you 5 minutes to speak. Not seeing anyone, we'll move on. I guess we'll close out the public hearing section and move to the consent agenda.
We have the regular and work session minutes from June 20th, 2023.
I'll entertain a motion to submit the consent agenda items, or to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, seconded by Alderman Romaker. Roll call vote.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz is absent. Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Alderman Corder is absent. Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Romaker.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with 2 absent. Next, we'll hear from the public comments. If you have anything you'd like to share with us, come forward and say, or bring any issues to us, we ask you step forward, state your name at the podium, and we'll address the issue after you let us know. Not seeing anybody, we'll move on to Board of Alderman comments.
I just hope everyone had a great 4th of July.
The fair was great.
Fair was good, yes.
I wanted to say thanks for the flags at the cemetery and the banner at the sports complex. They look great.
I think it's notable that there were a few complaints on social media about the fireworks and debris falling on their property, but honestly I think it was minimal compared to what our population is. Not slighting what they're saying, just taking into consideration what it is. But I appreciate them at least making comment and voicing their opinion. So, but other than that, same as well. I hope everybody enjoyed their 4th of July. I will say from a few fairgoers that they hadn't seen that type of crowd on the last day since mid to late 90s. And the fireworks display was phenomenal, they said. I unfortunately did not see that. So.
Well, the weather was excellent for the entire fair.
Yes, that was. All right. Next will be the mayor's appointment of Robin Dalton to the Tourism Commission for a 3-year term. I'll entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Robin Dalton to the Tourism Commission for a 3-year term.
So moved. Second. Miller.
Motion made by Alderman Cullum, seconded by Alderman Miller. Roll call vote.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Cullum,
Yes.
Alderman Romaker,
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with 2 absent. Next will be the street closings for the Fall Festival on September 23rd, 2023. Do we have any questions on those, or anybody want to make comment? I mean, it's pretty straight and dry as every year that we do it. I'll entertain a motion to approve the street closings for the Fall Festival on September 23rd, 2023.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, seconded by Alderman Cullum. Roll call vote.
Alderman Cullum,
Yes.
Alderman Romaker,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with 2 absent. Next will be the approval of catered liquor license for Fall Festival to On the Rocks Beverage Company and Barley and Vine. Are there any questions on that? Entertain a motion to approve the catered liquor license for Fall Festival for On the Rocks Beverage Company and Barley and Vine.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Cullum, seconded by Alderman Romaker. Roll call vote.
Alderman Romaker,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with 2 absent. Next will be hearing from City Administrator Brandy Walters.
Good evening. The first thing that I have for you tonight is tourism. The Tourism Commission met on June 27th, and they are making a recommendation for paying the tribute to Veterans Memorial in the amount of $5,065, and that was for landscaping, and this is the remaining budget that they had.
Okay. Any questions on that? I'll entertain a motion to approve the tourism's recommendation to the Veterans Memorial for in the amount of $5,065. Gotcha. Motion made by Alderman Romaker,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Cullum. Roll call vote.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Cullum,
Yes.
Alderman Romaker.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with 2 absent.
The only thing else that I have for you tonight is just a couple reminders. August 23rd will be our Board of Aldermen and Planning and Zoning meeting together, work session at 5 p.m. And August 30th, we're having a work session regarding the homeless, and that's at 5:30 p.m.
What was that last date?
August 30th at 5:30.
I think it's already on my phone, but I want to write it down just in case.
That's all I have for you.
All right, thank you. Next, we'll hear from Director of Operations, John Struckoff.
Good evening. The only thing I have for you tonight is the monthly admin report. A lot to report on this month. We're doing pretty good on employees. We need some police officers, and we just had a couple office positions open up. So if you know anybody, either one of those, send them our way.
Any questions for his monthly admin report?
Nope.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John.
Next, we'll hear from Finance Officer Dana Belaska.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have before you the financial reports for May of this year. So we have one period left in this fiscal year as far as reporting to the Board. So as of May, you'll see that the general fund revenue before transfers is about $273,000 above budget. Again, that's across several items, kind of split out there. Courts running about $26,000 more than budgeted. Property tax, $32,000. Franchise tax, $44,000. Permits, $42,000. In the general fund expense category, we are currently $347,000 less than we anticipated to expend as of May. 230 of that vacancies and wage related. Fuel's 54 below what was budgeted. We do have other supplies and maintenance, various ones that are still below budget, but we do have that one final period to spend in. In the transportation fund, you'll see that revenues are about $28,000 below budget, so we're pretty close in transportation. The expenses for transportation are about $224,000 less than budgeted. Of that, $127,000 is vacancy and wage related. Water and Sewer Fund, $242,000 above budget. And again, the biggest contributor to that is the industrial sewer, which is primarily the Refresco, $163,000 in that category. Operating expenses for the Water and Sewer Fund, $199,000 below budgeted, of which $129,000 is related to vacancies and wages. And again, one more period to finish up that balance. With our new format for accounts payable and claims payments, what you have in your packet toward the end of the packet is an accounts payable listing. So claims that have been paid during the month of June. Again, as we agreed, any claims that come forward to us that are budgeted, we process and pay based on due date. So you have any records that were paid in June after the last board meeting approval. So were there any questions regarding either the financials or that list of paid claims?
Can I ask a question? I'm just not clear on the interchange fund. The budget was 1.988 and change, and actual was 3 million. Can you explain what the difference is there? Why is that?
So what you don't see is perhaps a beginning fund balance. So when we make a large debt payment, such as the interchange fund, where those restricted sales tax sit, and they're only for payment on that loan related to the interchange. So during the year, we made a large payment that was planned, so it actually came out of the fund balance that was already there. So you don't see all that revenue happening at one time.
Okay. So that's not an actual shortfall, it's just...
No, I'm sorry.
It's just financials were planned differently. Okay.
We're paying it off faster, actually.
Yeah.
We've actually been able to make, I'm sure you've heard, we've been able to make double payments.
Right.
Which has lowered it by, I think, we're down by what, 6 years? Going to be 7, possibly? Or shortened it, I should
It
say.
has, yeah, we've paid a large payment like 3 times now.
Right.
So,
I was just curious. I didn't know what was going on there.
yes, that makes sense.
Any other questions?
So the next item on the agenda is the bill that will put into place the water and sewer rates that we've been talking about. So back the 1st of June, we had a special meeting, just a public meeting to see if anyone wanted to discuss any things on those proposed water and sewer rates. They are in our budgeted revenue expectations for the year. But this is just the formality of a bill that, one, on the sewer, changes the sewer rate as of August 1st. That base rate, or the minimum amount, which includes the first 1,000 gallons, will go from $13.47 to $14 on residential. And the per 1,000 gallons after that will go from $4.65 to $5.07. So the average sewer customer will see a little over $2 a month difference on their sewer portion of the bill. And on the next bill is related to the water change. So for water, that minimum or base amount goes from 8.23 to 8.55, and the per 1,000 goes from 5.31 to 5.52. So again, they'll see a little over $1 change related to the water portion of their bill. So just a formality of, well, I'll have to ask for approval of those bills.
On the bills. Is there any questions on those? No. All right, I'll entertain a motion for first reading of bill number 47-23.
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, second by Alderman Cullum.
An ordinance amending Section 700.120 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, establishing rates for sewer service within and outside the corporate limits of the City of Warrenton.
Entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 47-23.
So move.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, second by Alderman Rollmaker.
An ordinance amending Section 700.120 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, establishing rates for sewer service within and outside the corporate limits of the City of Warrenton.
I'll vote.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Rollmaker.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Bill passes 4-0 with 2 absent. Entertain a motion for first reading of bill number 48-23.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Cullum, second by Alderman Crump.
An ordinance amending Section 705.210 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, establishing rates for the use and consumption of water within and outside the corporate limits of the City of Warrenton.
Entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 48-23.
So moved.
I'll let you guys choose on who's first and second.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. We'll go ahead and take first by Alderman Rollmaker, second by Alderman Miller.
An ordinance amending Section 705.210 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, establishing rates for the use and consumption of water within and outside the corporate limits of the City of Warrenton.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Rollmaker.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with 2 absent. Or, I'm sorry, bill passes 4-0 with 2 absent. Oh, you have, Dana?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Is that all we have?
That's all I have.
Excellent, thank you. Next, we'll hear from Grounds and Maintenance Director, Justin Knoll.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have our monthly report for the month of June. So we've been, unfortunately, pretty dry, so we've been spending a lot of time watering trees and treating some of the trees for like insecticides and different things like that, protecting them from the Japanese beetles, and working on irrigation repairs at the sports complex, but been plenty of things to do to keep us going.
Excellent. Any questions?
None.
Pretty easy. Thank you, Mr. Knoll.
Thank you, Justin.
Next, we'll hear from Public Works Director, Guy Jeevers.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. Monthly report. We did some sidewalk repair on Bedford and Roanoke. We had 2 water main repairs that we had to do. Water services that we repaired. We had to repair a sewer main on 2nd Street. We had 175 Missouri 1 calls with 3 emergency calls. Questions from the report?
Questions?
No.
Not about that, no.
Anything else? Guy?
I got a question for you, and I'm sorry, maybe it was back with Justin. I mentioned to Brandy, over by Orange Blossom, we put in that big sewer.
So we called for locates today. When the contractor was done with the project, we drove the whole project. That was done. That was not done by us. So right now we're calling for locates because we can't, if we're going to clean it up, which as a direction we're going, they're going to come back out and mark all the utilities. And when they mark all the utilities, then I'm going to go back and see what new utilities are there and see if I can go after who did it. But we are going to clean it up. And there's too much there to just go in and clean it up because we got the pipeline and everything in the brothers there. But originally that was done and completed and signed off on.
Okay, I thought it was, so.
Yes.
When they called me and were telling me about it, I was like, let me call up there and see, so.
So if I can't get nothing done, we are going to take care of it.
Gotcha, but we're gonna try to get them to fix it since they messed
If
it
not,
up.
I'll send them a bill.
Talk to the lawyer.
Talk to the lawyer.
I'll drive down there with you.
Any other questions for Guy?
I've got a question on the sidewalk that goes north, the new
Sir.
sidewalk. How's that? I mean, is it okay, or we haven't, Mayor?
On the north side?
Yeah.
So, as you've seen, they were doing some resurfacing on the highway 47. So when they resurfaced it, a lot of chips and that went onto the sidewalk. So we made a concern with MoDOT online, and then he contacted me back and gave me his contact number, and they're supposed to get that cleaned up. So, but otherwise, it's holding up pretty good. And if they don't get it cleaned up, then I told them we'll do it and worry about that later.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
it's a lot of gravel on it.
I seen that. If we do it, can we bill MoDOT?
I'm sorry?
If we do that, can we give MoDOT a bill?
I don't,
Talk to the lawyer.
We'll talk to them tomorrow, don't worry about it.
but he did reach out to me and said they're gonna take care of it. I also had some calls about rocks were laying in a ditch along South 47. I got a few phone calls. Told the gentleman, go online, make a complaint, and then we go ahead and do the same thing. So that goes up to the top, and it must hit numerous emails because the phone rang pretty quick after that. And they said after contract gets through, they're gonna go and pick them up.
Any other questions? Nope. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Guy.
Next, we're from Building Commissioner Mike Cross.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have my monthly report. And as you drive around the city, you'll see we got a lot of action going on commercially. ELS Properties has started up there on their new warehouse and office space. The Fueler gas station has come along quite nice. We're waiting on some sign work to be done. All the concrete's in, so the parking lot's completely done. Steel is up on Tractor Supply. They're starting to put the sheeting on the outside now.
Looks like SSM is coming along.
Finally, yes, we have walls up. They were setting girder trusses today, which was nice to see. So they're starting to move forward a little bit with that. Pinckney is booming. Quite a few homes being built out there. We're up to 23 this year, so that's a nice boost. And we got 3 more permits sitting in my office ready for approval for this month. So, been quite busy. That's all I have for you.
Questions for Mr. Gold?
Nope. No, none for Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Next, we'll hear from Chief of Police Larry Eller.
Good evening. The only item I have for you in the agenda tonight is my monthly report. If you don't have any questions, I'd like to give some advertising to the National Night Out. We're not hosting it this year, but Wright City is. Tuesday, August 1st at Di Kroger Park from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Where's it at? I'm sorry.
Di Kroger Park in Wright City.
Any questions?
None.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Next, we'll hear from Director of Planning and Development, Tim Burks.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have a copy of my monthly report. A couple of highlights. We had the Overstock outlet open at 604 East Boonslet, the old Kroger store, and Meemaw's Kitchen opened at 132 Cool Avenue.
Any questions for Tim?
No, none for Tim.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
I will entertain a motion to close the regular Board of Alderman meeting and go into executive session for real estate.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, seconded by Alderman McCullum. Roll call vote.
Alderman Romaker?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Motion passes with 4-0 with 2 absent. We are so adjourned.